you should aspire for more. Connect with others who desire to aspire for more. Reach for your goals. When you do, you allow yourself to aspire for more. Dr. Tammy is here to help you aspire for more. Aspire for more.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Journey Toward More, where we discuss topics that help you manifest more of what is for you, manifest more of what you desire, more of what is aligned with who you are, more of what honors you on your journey toward more. I am your host, Dr. Tammy, life strategist, literacy educator, and consultant, author, and speaker. And thank you so much for joining me for another episode. This episode, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why it took me so long to record this one. The topic, the idea has been with me for a while, but I think with this topic, even though it came from a place that I knew I was practicing what I preached, for some reason I delayed on recording this because I really wanted to make sure that I am practicing what I preach and teach, and that I am doing that for me. The last 5-6 weeks have been really interesting in my life, just because this topic, when I even see the word heart, it resonates with me on so many levels. And I knew that because of that, I needed to take my time and do this when I was ready. So I don't know if I am, but what I do know is that because it resonated with me on so many levels, I know it will as well with you. This is February. This is American Heart Month. And so it also is about the physical heart. And there's that physicalness. And with my Catalyst for Change brand, I talk about not as much as the other things, but about health and fitness. And I talk about doing that in the confines of your lifestyle and the confines of what you're trying to accomplish, and doing that in a way that it honors you. And so on one level, it resonated there. And on another level, it's the second part of that it honors you. And so in honoring you and your physical heart, you must also honor the emotional heart, that emotional side that we talk about with the heart, that abstractness of it. And, our heart is special. Let's just be real. Let's just say it like it is. Our heart is special in that regard because it is a complex thing. And so this episode, besides the obvious, the heart has the ability to keep us alive. The heart is something that we should commit to better health each day, each week, each month. That is something that is a constant thing. And I say that in honor of American Heart Month. My father recently had triple bypass surgery. And so the heart is really special to me on that level as well. And so I think that's why it created this space in me to really evaluate, am I honoring my heart in both ways? And what I'm doing, my choices, and how I'm living. So we're going to get into that a little bit. My goal is to get through this episode without crying and shedding a tear. They're already flowing. So as I think about this in the last couple of years, this has been something. So I think this episode is one of those full circle moments. And I feel like it's my opportunity to share it with you. So besides the obvious, the ability to keep us alive, our heart knows what we need, and it tells us all that we need to know. So we just need to listen to it and honor it. So that's kind of where this comes from. Honor your heart. But I must talk about the first part of that, and that is the decisions. Our decisions and choices tell us a lot about ourselves. And those decisions and choices comes from our heart. Because our heart reveals so much about our decisions. Our heart reveals so much of the motive behind those decisions. So decisions will reveal so much. Decisions will reveal if you are honoring what you really want. It will reveal if you're honoring your heart. It will honor, and this is the part that probably makes us all take a pause, how brave, strong, and courageous we are. So decisions can be agonizing because it's a mixture of our intuition, our rational thinking, and our emotions. And typically we go through some things when we're making decisions. We generate some alternatives. We explore all our options. We even select the best option. And then we evaluate, okay, this is what I really want to do before we act on it. But it's that selecting the best option where we get hung up on the heart, if we're honoring our heart. So a decision I've made a lot in the last probably 16 months to 2 years. I've made quite a bit that were huge decisions that needed to be made and way past time to be made, but it took me a moment. And there was one dealing with the playbook. The playbook is my recent publication, Manifesting More, a playbook for planning and living on purpose. It's a playbook because it's a book of templates, strategies, and ways that you can manifest more through planning, journaling, calendaring, all of that in one, as well as goal setting and creating those affirmations. So it's a playbook and it's for you. And I invite you to check out my website, tfdonaldson.com, or online at Amazon or Barnes & Noble and grab a copy. Check it out. But in publishing the playbook, I had the idea probably 2 years ago. I finally, when I had my second mastermind group in 2017, I realized that what we were doing was basically the playbook. It was in pieces, it was in forms, but that was it. And I was thinking, what in the world am I doing? These should all be together. These should all be in one place. I hate carrying all these things. I hate carrying a journal. I hate carrying a planner. I hate carrying the notes for my groups and things like that, my plan even for this podcast and things like that. I don't like carrying them in all different places. It's a lot to carry. It's a lot to manage. My life was changing, and so I knew I needed to streamline that a bit. And so those mastermind groups in 2017 really inspired it. And so it was done. It was done by January 2018. But I sat on it. I waited. I started doing those things we talk about. I started thinking about, okay, what are my options? When should I best publish this? When should I do it? Okay, what is this plan? Okay, my plan is to publish it in the summer, so that way it's ready by October when people start purchasing for the new year, and they'll get their planner, calendar, whatever they like to use, And this can be a great option for those who are ready to really manifest more and ready to commit, because the playbook takes some commitment. Like, it's not something that you just want to keep your appointments. Like, it's something you really want to use. It's an investment. And so I knew that I wanted to have it ready, but then I had it all ready in July. Like, I went with the plan, y'all. Like, I made the decision, I went with the plan, I acted on that plan. But and then in July, when it was ready, it was good to go. One, I hesitated because I thought, well, maybe this is not it. Maybe this is just too overwhelming for folks. Maybe I need to keep it to my groups. Maybe, I started thinking, I did that rational thinking, right? I did that rational thinking. Intuition got it done, but rational thinking kind of stopped it from getting out. And I really hesitated with getting it out. And I started thinking about, no, I'm not ready. And even though my heart of hearts, I knew that it was a game changer. I knew that those that were ready to commit and invest, it was going to do something for them. I didn't publish it, y'all. Like, I didn't publish it. I held on to it. I even, in the midst of holding on to it, I changed the cover. I, tweaked a few things on the inside. I added to it. I did all kinds of things, but it was ready. And what I didn't make a big difference in the original product. So it was ready. But I didn't, because I was rationalizing, I was really thinking about, what is this going to do? Is it going to be successful? Started really thinking about it. And in November, my son ended up in the hospital, in ICU. And sitting in the hospital with him, I had my copy, and I was using my copy because I had used the printed copy for about a year. Like, I was using pieces of it in the printed form because I hadn't published it and bound it. But I was using it, and I was in the hospital with him, and I said, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to press the button. We're just going to do it. And so I literally went online, hit the button, make it available. And that same day that he was in the hospital, and I was sitting with him, it was out. It was ready. Because I realized in that moment and what the events that happened that week leading up into that moment when he ended up in the hospital, I realized that out of all the decisions I had made up in that point, I had honored my heart, but this one, I hadn't. And I needed to do it. I just needed to do it. And so I did. So I stepped out there and I did it. And I've been really amazed at the reception and the perception and how it's done. But it's taken me a moment. It's really taken me a moment. And I want you to consider some things, and I want to share why it is so important for you to honor your heart and for you to consider what is it that you are not doing that you want to do? What is it that you want to reach for that you've been putting off? What is it that you desire more of that's great and would benefit and serve others that you are hiding? Because sometimes we are procrastinating on someone else's breakthrough, on someone else's blessing. And we got to think about that when you are not pursuing what it is in your deep down in your gut you should be doing. And the things that I've done in the last year and a half, I knew deep down in my gut I needed to do them, I should do them, and I should have done them a long time ago. So I want to just share a few things, a few ways or reasons why you should honor your heart. One, it creates space for more, for greater. And this is probably inappropriate English grammar, but more greater, like that. It just opens space for something more greater than you've ever imagined. And it allows you to, number two, forces you to evaluate what you really want and how what you are currently doing, how that is playing out in your life, if that's what you want to do. How are you investing in serving others? How are you investing in serving you and your goals? It really forces you to take a peek at that. And so when you honor your heart, you make space for that. And you make space for you to become more self-aware. And, it improves your ability to communicate what you want and your desire. So that's number three. It improves what you communicate with others, what you request, what your questions are, what you desire, and what you're willing to do and not do. Are you willing to put yourself out there for this particular thing? Because I promise you, if you're honoring your heart and you're thinking it through like we normally do, you probably will. And it's probably not a totally bad thing, because I think every experience we grow and learn from. Number four, it pushes you to begin trusting yourself, that inner voice. Because when you are creating space for more, when you are evaluating what you really want and you communicate that effectively, then you have a tendency to listen to that inner voice. You listen to those inner desires of your heart. You trust yourself, and you trust yourself to do what's best for you and, of course, for others. But more importantly, yourself. Which means, number five, you become courageous in your pursuits. Your goals, your visions evolve, they grow. We begin. What am I saying? We we begin to face our fears, embrace uncertainty, because not everything is going to be, these things over there is without fear, and it's not going to always be certain, but we face those fears, we embrace uncertainty, we actually begin to dream bigger. Because courage is not the absence of fear, but it's in spite of fear that you keep moving, you keep pressing, you keep dreaming, you keep living, and you keep doing those things that honor you and your heart. You see, courage, if you think about courage, I love words, y'all. So you think about courage. Courage, the root of courage is cur, which is the Latin root for heart. Have heart and honor it. Be courageous. You become courageous when you do. So in essence, the last thing, it leads you to honor you every single day by being reflective and introspective. Are you honoring your heart? What is your heart telling you that you need? What do you love to do? What are you truly passionate about? What is your heart saying to you at this moment, right now? So many times we allow our mind to take over. Now, hold on. We should not ignore the mind and rational thinking. However, when we honor our heart, we tend to pursue our purpose with passion or choose the path that feels right to us in that moment. When we honor our heart, we honor our gift, We honor what has been designed and designated for us to use as service. Honor your heart. Have heart and honor it. Be courageous. Our heart is very special. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Journey Toward More. I appreciate you being here. Please check out the playbook. It is out there. And I love for you to give me some reviews on Amazon or wherever you purchase it. I appreciate that. And if you'll keep following this podcast, download it and check it out. Share it with someone in your circle that could benefit on their journey toward more. There's previous episodes. Check those out. I encourage you to add this to your playlist and come back each week as each episode is uploaded and shared. And I have a YouTube channel. These are also available on my YouTube channel, so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's at Dr. Tammy Francis, and you can definitely find it there. And you can find this here. You can find this podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes. So if you have someone who's listening with you, but they want to get it themselves, that's just a little bit for them. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. I am Dr. Tammy. And this year, 2019, let's honor our heart. Take care, and I'll see you soon.
Stuck in life, you should aspire for more. Connect with others who desire to aspire for more. Reach for your goals. When you do, you allow yourself to aspire for more. Dr. Tammy is here to help you aspire for more. When you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Believe in yourself, you'll get more. You should aspire for more. Aspire for more. You should aspire for more. You should aspire for more.